Thank you, Austin. It's clear why you were our class president for all 4 years of the class of 2013. We appreciate your remarks and all of the advice and guidance that you've given us along the way. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce our commencement speaker. As Sherlock Holmes would tell you, it's great to have a Dr. Watson. We have a very special Dr. Watson here who's been around here at Florida State for only 5 years, but he's been around Florida for a lifetime, healing patients and teaching students. If you're wearing garnet and gold, don't get nervous when I say that Dr. Watson spent most of his career in Gainesville. I knew that might happen. His bachelor's and medical degrees both came from the University of Florida. He did his neurology residency at UF. He was senior associate dean for 17 years at UF. There's even a classroom named for him at UF. Truth is, some of our best people have come from UF. There's several of them on this stage today. To me, it's a great compliment. They were educated at a top-flight medical school, they've distinguished themselves in their careers, and they come here to explore our 21st century approach to medical education and really have bought into that. In the beginning, Bob had his doubts, like many of the doctors that I've talked to since I've been here, about our community-based model. Now he sees that our model lets faculty members give our students the invaluable one-on-one instruction they need. He also appreciates our mission to create caring physicians because compassionate care has always been one of his priorities. Last year, when they named that classroom for him at UF, the dean of the medical school there called Bob the epitome of integrity, compassionate concern, and respect. A few years before that, he received the nation's highest recognition from the AAMC for lifetime contributions to medical education. Please welcome one of our favorite Gators, Dr. Watson, I presume.
Thank you, Dean Fogarty, for that garnet and orange introduction. It was nice. Provost Stokes, Dean Fogarty, Dr. McGuire, honored guests, esteemed faculty, friends, families, very noble parents, and the class of 2013. I am humbled and proud to have been asked to speak with you on the day that the class of 2013 receives their Doctor of Medicine degrees. A lifetime of learning to heal is a journey. It's a journey punctuated by steps and events. But this step, this event, receiving your MD degree, is a truly special milestone. And I know that every graduate will remember this day forever. Yet to reach this day, I know that you have often journeyed in the tunnels of preparation. Head down, don't mess up, make it from one day to the next, one test to the next, from one interview to the next. And today you almost magically find yourself at the other end of the tunnel. Someone is shaking your hand and handing you a diploma that says Doctor of Medicine. As I always said, the hours sometimes dragged, but the months always flew. Graduation addresses are often about giving advice. Here is my advice. Be yourself. Make a difference. Be an attentive listener. Learn how to learn, and call mom and dad. First, be yourself. It is time to give up trying to be perfect in the eyes of others. It has been your lives to make the best grades, be the most sociable, do the best on tests. Don't try to be a chameleon, created by imitating what you perceive as the best in others. Understand, none of us is perfect. Anna Quinlan wrote, "But nothing important or meaningful or beautiful or interesting or great ever came out of imitations. The thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. If your success in the past or future looks good to others but doesn't feel good in your own heart, then it is not truly success at all. Or looking at that from the other side, as the comedian Lily Tomlin reminded us, if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. I can promise that most of learning about yourself takes place not in the classroom or the library, but in the laboratory of your own life. Learning about yourself will require not marching to the music of all the days out there, but marching instead to the music of your soul, to the melodies of your own heart. That music is a symphony. The rest is noise. Maybe that's why we give advice when we're older, and our symphony is in the notes of experience cut with failure, triumph, and tedium, lyrics that include the ashes as well as the embers. You will learn a lot about yourself from listening to stories from your patients and their families, from opening your heart to feel their fear and their trust. It's time to lay down your backpacks. You cannot carry experience in a backpack. Too often we only understand ourselves in retrospect, but George Eliot wrote, "It is never too late to be what you might have been. It is never too late to be what you might have been." So choose to be yourself. Second, make a difference. Love what you do. Never let being a physician become automated. Medicine is really one of life's endeavors that encourages a creative flair, passion, and imagination. The caring and healing parts of medicine will always be conducted on a human-to-human basis. Every one of you can make a difference in the lives of your patients, their families, your communities, your profession, and in yourselves. Keep the human touch in your care of patients. And although you will use technology often, remember what President John F. Kennedy said, technology has no conscience of its own. Donald Berwick, former head of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, wrote, "You will face all kinds of rules, regulations, processes, and procedures. Yet you will have many magical opportunities to experience that all that really matters is the person for whom you are caring, the frightened soul, the confused husband, the wife, the son. Do the small things of the moment, because in the end, these are far more important than all the rules and regulations. Because you know by now that those who suffer need more than a doctor, they need a healer. Treasure and embrace with your patients our shared human frailty. Never forget the dignity in each and every human soul. The human soul is so fragile. It's so easily damaged. Don't do or say anything to harm the human soul. It's all about using your life to touch other people's hearts in ways that could never have occurred alone. You can choose the way those hearts are affected, and those choices are what life is all about. Take advantage of the opportunities to make a difference. Help cure an aching world. Make a difference. Third, be an attentive listener. Patient surveys consistently show that they most want a physician who listens, a physician who cares. Attentively listening shows respect. And patients who feel respected are more likely to trust you and do what you recommend for her or his health. Take a few moments to ask that personal question about grandchildren, hobbies, or sports teams. Look for the core of what makes each person different and appreciate the details that make him or her unique. In the endless battle against disease and despair, it will be your courage, compassion, and love that will be the bright rally flags of hope for your patients, their families, and for you. Everyone needs hope. Always nurture connections. Connections with others give us vitality. Connections are an endless source of energy. The connection that leads a student to want to emulate her teacher. The connections we enjoy with our families and closest friends. And the social contract between physicians and their patients are connections that lead to a life well lived, to a truly meaningful life. I believe connectedness is founded on connection with a higher being. It is this connection that can help keep you grounded and be your true north during those dark and difficult times of residency and life. Nurture that connection. Always remember that the very essence of the patient-physician relationship is its moral center, never the marketplace. Medicine is a moral community. The practice of medicine a moral undertaking, and being a physician is a moral commitment. John O'Donohue's poem on the death of the beloved, to me, says something about being a good physician. To enter each day with a joyous heart, to serve the call of courage and love. Be an attentive listener. Fourth, learn how to learn. During medical school, I know you've heard that lifelong learning bromide so often that it loses its meaning. I mean, all the time, please, no more. But always learning must be part of our fabric, and I think always learning new ways to learn is the real key. This means that new technologies are going to become available to help you learn. But never, ever forget, you can't download compassion, caring, imagination, and passion. Be a skeptic, not a cynic. Skepticism is about asking questions. Cynicism is about thinking you already know the answers. Learn how to learn. And last, call mom and dad. You are going to continue being busier than most, but unless you are a parent, or until you become a parent, you need to understand that your parents love you more than you will ever know. They are proud of you, but they love you for reasons that go far beyond this day, far beyond becoming a physician. Parents truly have a hard time knowing where they end and you begin. Don't only use email, text, tweets, or Facebook. They want to hear your voice. I've learned that FaceTime is good. Our typed media messages have become increasingly like the old-time telegraphs, which were brief and blunted because the charge was per word. Emotion can never be expressed telegraphically. Call mom and dad. You'll be glad you called. I want to close with a poem written by R.L. Sharp called A Bag of Tools. Isn't it strange that princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and common people like you and me are builders for eternity? Each is given a bag of tools, a shapeless mass, a book of rules, and each must make, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. As you practice this art, always be a stepping stone. On this special day, I want you to feel the pride of entering this profession. I want you to be proud to join all of those good and great people who have practiced this art through the ages. I know how proud I feel to share this wonderful day with you. Congratulations to the class of 2013. Thank you.
Dr. Watson, thank you. It's clear why the class of 2013 and all the classes before and many of the classes you had in other institutions, why they hold you in such high esteem and affection. I think that's more than anything else. It's also why they honored you with choice as the 2013 graduation speaker. I appreciate all of your help you've given me. You've been at my right hand since I've been here in 2008. You've been giving me nothing but wise counsel. And on behalf of the College of Medicine, I'd like to present a small token of our esteem and thank you for the graduation address today. I know what part of the speech the parents like the most about that, yeah. For your information, we did provide a gift from the FSU Master Craftsman Studio, a personalized pen for Dr. Watson today. The first step toward fulfilling our mission as a medical school is to provide for a diverse student body, capable of producing physicians who understand and appreciate the call to provide for the medically underserved. The development of outreach programs to ensure such diversity is critical to our mission. Our outreach programs are producing outstanding results that will impact the delivery of health care throughout Florida in years to come. And they're setting an example for medical schools across the country. Without question, they are producing outstanding medical students and precisely the kind of students we hope to graduate from FSU College of Medicine. I would like to invite Florida State University Provost Dr. Garnet Stokes, along with Dr. Myra Hurt, Senior Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs, and Dr. Helen Livingston, Assistant Dean for Graduate, Undergraduate, and Pre-College Programs, to join me at the podium. Dr. Stokes will confer the degree Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, Bridge to Clinical Medicine. Dr. Hurt will present the candidates, and Dr. Livingston will bestow the regalia. Dr. Hurt.
Good morning, everyone. You look happy. I'm glad. I know we all are, and I think these guys back here are too. It is my task to present the Bridge candidates, which is a wonderful one. The Bridge to Clinical Medicine major of the Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences is a one-year program which includes 3 semesters of coursework in biomedical sciences, research, and a community-based preceptorship. The program of study is designed to enhance skills for the study of medicine. Sorry, this is a little high for me, Dean Fogarty. And to reinforce the mission of the College of Medicine, to train physicians in community-based settings working with medically underserved populations. These students have completed all requirements of the degree. Will the Master of Science candidates please rise? Provost Stokes, I have the honor, on behalf of the faculty of the Florida State University College of Medicine, to present the candidates for the Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, Bridge to Clinical Medicine.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here on this great day. And by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida State University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Science in Biomedical Sciences, Bridge to Clinical Medicine. We extend to you our heartiest congratulations.
Candidates, please approach the stage and come forward when your name is called. Ginger Wendelin Baker. Alessandra Managali Kahea Taylor. Lindsay Brooke Gardner Walden. Pauline Gautrace. Mayuri Jagdish Joshi. Dwight Kemp. Carolina Isabella Manetska. Dorothy Marinci. Jennifer Lynn Roll. Jennifer Ariel Rowe. Shamia Lucrezia Smith. Travaisha Elise Vons. Caroline Warioba. Congratulations, Bridge class, and welcome to the MD class of 2017.
At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Chris Leadham and Alma Littles to join us at the podium. Dr. Littles will present the candidates for Doctor of Medicine. Dr. Stokes will confer the Doctor of Medicine degrees.
Thank you, Dean Fogarty. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Medicine degree please rise? Provost Stokes, I have the honor on behalf of the faculty of the Florida State University College of Medicine to present the candidates for the Doctor of Medicine degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida State University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine. We extend to you our heartiest congratulations. You may be seated.
Thank you. Let me be the first to congratulate you as real doctors. Bestowing the academic regalia will be our regional campus deans. Will Dr. Lucky Dunn of the Daytona Beach Regional Campus please come forward for the hooding of students from your campus? It is tradition that physician parents are allowed to hood their child, so we also will be joined by two parents for the hooding of their children. Dr. Charles Wimette and Dr. John Giannini have been chosen by the students to serve as faculty marshals in the bestowing of the regalia. And I'm honored again to be the first to start addressing the class as true doctors. Will the students from the Daytona Beach Regional Campus please come forward as I call your name? Dr. Eva Jean Bellin. Dr. Zena May Ortiz Benin-Gannon. Dr. Jesse Corey Simon Boodoo. Dr. Andrew Stewart Calzadilla. Dr. Monica Sheila Chatwell. Dr. Mark Silo. Dr. Stephen Corbin Cook. Dr. Lisa Ann Cunningham. Dr. Megan Fabrizi. Dr. Gabrielle Christine Mesmer. Dr. David Brian Page. Dr. Fernando Paraferro. Dr. Dale Lee Taylor. Dr. Cindy Susan Turco. Dr. Zachary Sloan Tizer. Dr. Anand Vijay Vicaria. Dr. Melissa Velarde. Dr. Natalie Williams.
Will Dr. Randy Bertolet of the Fort Pierce Regional Campus please come forward for the hooding of the students from your campus? Students from the Fort Pierce campus, please come forward when I call your name. Dr. Akil Akadan Hassani Allen. Dr. Emil Hans Barreau. Dr. Corey Hartman Duncan. Dr. Caitlin Susanna Dunham. Dr. Patrick Maxwell Gill. Dr. Joshua Daniel Hayes. Dr. Kimberly Marie Hemphill. Dr. Cynthia Marie LaRoche. Dr. Diana Lee Marchese. Dr. Amit Suresh Patel. Dr. Kyle Dwight Powers. Dr. Richard Paul Romanell. Dr. Maria Christina Ruzinski. Dr. Colin Lowell Tully. Dr. Leah Teresa Williams. Dr. Mary Elizabeth Woods. Dr. Claudia Patricia Zapata.
Will Dr. Michael Mazinski of the Orlando Regional Campus please come forward for the hooding of students from your campus? Students from the Orlando campus, please come forward as I call your name. Dr. Omalabaki Toby Bankoli. Dr. Christina Marie Brown. Dr. Alexandra Clayton. Dr. Michelle Nicole Edison. Dr. Michael Lewis Glickman. Dr. Zachary David Hale. Dr. Jean-Pierre Antoinette Hall. Dr. Jonathan Burhan Emron. Dr. Richard Paul Jones II. Dr. Suhail Karam. Dr. Jasmeet Kaur Kataria. Dr. Jason Robert Konopak. Dr. Shirley Kwan. Dr. Carlos Anthony Leon. Dr. Philip Wu Lin. Dr. Stephen James Lozier. Dr. Raquel Aurora Ola Barrieta. Dr. Shayla Ann Preston Palmer. Dr. Stephanie Lane Pollock. Dr. Sean Laxmikant Shaw. Dr. Heather Marie Staples. Dr. Karina Lee Walker. Dr. Brittany Noel Warren. Dr. Sarah Elizabeth Weaver.
Will Dr. Paul McLeod of the Pensacola Regional Campus please come forward for the hooding of the students from your campus? Students from the Pensacola campus, please come forward when I call your name. Catherine Alfalor Acob. Dr. Sarah Joy Barnett. Dr. Aaron Bascom. Dr. Brian Bowerband. Dr. Felicia Ashley Blay. Dr. Brandon Wade Cook. Dr. Laura Elizabeth Davis. Dr. Erica Steinworth Delbeck. Dr. Justin Dvorak. Dr. Amanda Claire Garnett. Dr. Andrew Joseph Hogan. Dr. Omar Rashid Karaman. Dr. David Mendoza. Dr. Jennifer Ann Miller. Dr. Bethan Mohammed. Dr. Matthew Baker Moss. Dr. Roxanne Sashagay Samuels. Dr. Elizabeth Christine Sappenfield. Dr. Shannon Lynn Scott. Dr. Joshua Brian Smith.
Will Dr. Bruce Berg of the Sarasota Regional Campus please come forward for the hooding of students from your campus? Students from the Sarasota campus, please come forward as I call your name. Dr. Elizabeth Roylance Kraling Alt. Dr. Christina Lauren Baldwin. Dr. Garrett Hunter Brown. Dr. Nicole Marie De Jesus Brugman. Dr. Ashley Marie Dugokensky. Dr. Emily Catherine Dodenhoff. Dr. Zach Fosenlogan. Dr. Sarah Eskin Janae. Dr. Alexa Courtney Kamensky. Dr. Jason Adam Lorenzen. Dr. Christopher James Joseph Martin. Dr. Brittany Krista McCreary. Dr. Babak Misagi. Dr. Vikup Dipin Kumar Patel. Dr. Benjamin Colby Powell. Benjamin is being hooded by his father, Dr. Randy Powell. Dr. Catherine Dr. Catherine Melinda Powell. Dr. Catherine Powell is also being hooded by her father, Dr. Randy Powell. Dr. Kathleen Mary Relohan. Dr. Luby Alexander Sidoff III. Dr. Kyle Lewis Solari. Dr. Andrea Lowry Taylor. Dr. Catherine Ann Wynn.
Will Dr. Ron Hartsfield come forward for the hooding of the students from the Tallahassee Regional Campus? Students from the Tallahassee campus, please come forward when I call your name. Dr. Mary Margaret Langston Allen. Dr. Jason Adrian Booth. Dr. Andrew Taft Garber. Dr. Amy Marlowe Haddock. Dr. Austin Ryan Hinkle. Dr. Jacob Randall Lassiter. Dr. Kenneth John McAlpin, Jr. Kenneth is being hooded by his father, Dr. Kenneth McAlpin, Sr. Dr. Catherine Joy Nelson Tilcock. Dr. Mary Post Norton. Dr. Jennifer Madeline Owen. Dr. Desiree Ilea Pappas. Dr. Tabitha Lee Schrufer, Poland. Dr. Rashad Jamar Sullivan. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2013.
One of the great joys of being a dean is to actually address you as doctor individually for the first time, so I congratulate you. It's certainly a pleasure to do this. Now what I'd like the class of 2013 to do is stand and thank the people that made all this possible. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Dr. Jonathan Applebaum, the Education Director for Internal Medicine and a recent inductee yesterday in the Gold Unison Honor Society, selected by the students to administer the physician's oath.
I'd also like to invite all the physicians in attendance who wish to renew their oath to stand and recite with the class of 2013. The words are in your program. I'll read each line, and please repeat each line after I read it. First, I will do no harm. I will honor those who taught me the art and science of medicine. I will remember with gratitude and humility those whose illness helped me gain wisdom. I will share my knowledge with future colleagues and all who are in want or need of it. I will practice medicine with conscience and humility. I will act with enduring respect for the dignity of human life. Foremost in my mind will be compassion, respect, and impartial care for my patients. I will hold sacred the trust of my patients and respect the secrets they confide in me. I will not be swayed by greed, prejudice, or ego in the practice of my art. I will do all in my power to help my patients reach physical, mental, and spiritual health. I will strive for this balance in my own life. May I have the courage and character to hold these principles sacred from this day forward as I place myself into the service of others. This oath I make solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you. You may be seated.
Congratulations again to everyone. I would like to do one more thing. I would like to ask all the faculty on stage and all the faculty that are with us here in the audience today, whether you've participated here on the main campus or at our regional campuses, to please stand to be recognized by the class of 2013. Thank you. If you know me, you know I'm a lot about traditions and oaths and things that need to perpetuate themselves in time. One of the practices that I had as my children were growing up was each night before they would go to bed, I would offer them a blessing, and I would like to do that for our students today. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May He lift His countenance upon you and give you His peace. I wish you well on your journey. I know you will make us proud. Welcome to the FSU College of Medicine Alumni Association. You're now part of that. I don't think the due statements will come too soon, but so. Well, thank you all for coming to this day. Thank you for celebrating with our students. I know they appreciated your being here. I know that you can just see them bursting with pride today. I can see that in each and every one of you with all the pictures being taken down here. This is just an absolutely wonderful day. I wish you well for the rest of the day. I know it's going to be hot outside, but as we recess, I want everybody to try to leave completely from the auditorium. Otherwise, it really gets jumbled, and the people that are kind of stuck in here can't get out to go get the hugs and pictures and things that want to have happen. So please, as we recess, students and faculty, process all the way out to the fountain, assuming it's not raining out there. It was beautiful when we came in. And try to meet up with your parents and folks then. Once we've emptied the auditorium, you're more than welcome to come back in for pictures or whatever you want to do, but it's really going to be important to get people out of here. And the only way to do that is if we don't congregate in the atrium right outside the front of the hall. Thank you so much for coming. Please stand for the recessional.